Hello. My name is Anastasia, and I'm glad to welcome you all to the second webcast where we solve real tasks without involving programming. Today's webcast challenge is to help business users in keeping their opportunities data up to date with when contact leaves a company using automation. The fostered idea for the automation is configuring logic instead of hard coding it, as administration is affordable and safer than direct code development. That is why I will leverage the tool that opens Sugar admins the new possibilities like data processing, sending complex messages, extended advanced workflow, or even describing external REST API calls. This tool is called Logic Builder, and there is no requirements to have programming experience since Visual Designer will help you to build your logic. The only thing I would suggest you to do prior the configuration is to get aware of your Sugar module. What modules it has, what fields are in these modules, and so on. So the delivery process may be some kind of this, starting from receiving your challenge, configure solution in Logic Builder, automatically build Sugar package, and they deployed it into Sugar. And that's it. So let's see how all this works in the action. For this, I now switching to my browser, and in browser, I put the link logicbuilder.integrascrm.com. Here, you need to introduce yourself, or if you do not have an account, proceed to quick registration form on sign up. So I have, and I'm signing. We are in. The first thing that you see, it is a grid. It is a workspace where you will build your own logic. And on the top, there is a menu. Let me quickly guide you through this menu. So the first option is a flowchart. Here are located all general control tools like saving your logic, loading your logic, and so on. The edit has options to export and import your visual design, the visual design of your logic. The toolbox section contains all elements with which you will build your logic. And finally, Quick Start is a helping hand to build your very first flowchart. Also, the menu is available by like context menu. Just click right mouse button and call to it. So, to start, every time you will need to connect Logic Builder to your Sugar. Because Logic Builder needs to know metadata from your Sugar, modules, fields, relationships, and things like this. So in Sugar URL, you type your URL to Sugar, and Sugar login, Sugar password, it's login and password from Sugar user. When you are ready, click import. I suggest you to use admin user account since Logic Builder respects role restrictions. I mean that if your user do not have access to accounts module in Sugar, you won't be able to work with this module here in Logic Builder. Also, the second thing, in order to connect to your Sugar, Logic Builder is an external custom platform. And as you may know, starting from version 7.11 Sugar, you need to register external custom platforms. And you can do this by simple downloading package for register this platform action. So we connected to Sugar, and now we can start to work. What does it mean to build your logic? Here you will have a visual presentation of your logic. It's some kinds of actions that are connected between each other in special order. And this visual presentation is called a flowchart. I will operate this term a lot later, so now you know what it is. And every flowchart, every logic has a start element, an entry point, in other words. So first thing that you need to define is what event in sugar should calls to your logic. And in Logic Builder, there are several elements, start elements. They're located in Toolbox section. And if we scroll down a little bit, there are events section. And here, two main elements called on data change, first one, and second one on link change. So on data change, it is element that starts when some data changed in your sugar, as may read from the name of this element. For example, when user change the status of the case from new to closed, for example, it's the event to start logic from element on data change. And the second one on link change, as may read from its name, starts when relationship between two records is changed, added or removed. Our today task is to work when contact leaves the company. So in our sugar admin's words, for example, it's a situation where when relationship between account and contact removed. So our today hero is on link change. These elements or bricks actually are called operators. So as you may see, operator has name on the top, like on link change. Also on the right corner, there is quick info box. When you click on it, you have briefly description about this operator. Also, operator has some inputs. Then with these inputs, operator performs some action, and you have a result as output. Let's remove for now unnecessary operator on data change. By the way, we worked with on data change on our past webcast with similar idea. So if you are interested in, you may watch this webcast. How to remove unnecessary operator or any other element, just select it with left mouse button, then click on right to call to context menu and choose delete selected item. So I move this just a bit upper. I do this with my left mouse button and click and hold. And if you click and hold right mouse button, you can move your grid. So this is how you can walk through your flowchart. So let's look closer to our operator. It requires you to fill in some data here, like object model, subject model, link name, and event type. Object model and subject model. Relationship obviously is between two modules, between two records. So we need to define which exact record in which exact module we need to work. Object is a module to whose record relationship is added or removed. In our case, it will be account. I choose it. And subject module, it's a module record of which the relationship to which is added or removed. It's contact. So we choose contacts from the list. Then there is a link name. As you may guess, it is a name of a relationship because it may be several relationships between two modules that you choose. So here may be several options, but for now we have only one. And finally, event type defines when exactly your logic should fires. I just opened. So it's before or after relationship was added or removed. We now need removing relationship. So let's choose, for example, before relationship delete. So now we defined that when contact removes from account, we should do something. What exactly we will do? We are going to do this right now. So what we need to do next? We need to remove contact when he leaves the company from opportunities. So firstly, we need to collect all these opportunities. When you want to receive some records, some entities, Logic Builder offers you several options. In Toolbox section, I start to type the name of operators. They are all started with retrieve. So there are three options. Retrieve entities by attributes. The first one, it's a similar idea as you perform searching in any module in Sugar. So you navigate to module. Here you choose one, for example, accounts. And here you pick up fields by which you are going to find some records. Then you define the values in these fields, and as a result, you have a set of needed entities. The second one option to find the record is retrieve entity. This operator returns to you only one entity which you defined by ID. And finally, retrieve related entities can return to you all entities by some relationship. And actually, we will use retrieve related entities because we are going to find opportunities by relation. So we move operator here, and what's our operator? What is there is an operator? Okay, so as you may see, link name now is empty. I can't choose anything from here because firstly I need to specify which exactly entity I want to get all relation. I need to put contacts here, and then here I will see all my relations. How can I get contact here? Let's go back a little bit on our link change operator. We have two outputs, object entity and subject entity. Actually, all these outputs and inputs as well called ports, and these ports are called data ports because actually data is going through them. So when I want to specify something here in input port, I simply use link from subject entity. Where is my contact located? I link it to the input data input port here in entity. So here I have my contact. And now when I open this field, I see all relations to my contact, and we are looking for opportunities. So as a result of this operator, I have several options. First one is entities. It is set of entities that this operator found. In this case, it is opportunities. So if there are 10 related to my contact opportunities, here I will have all 10 opportunities. Then entities number simply returns the number of found records. So if 10, here I have the number 10. And single entity allows you to work with one random picked record opportunity in our case. Or if you use a one-to-one relationship or many-to-one, you can be sure to use this output port. The next thing, I hope that you noticed these white rectangulars. It's also ports, also input and output, but they are called control flow. Control flow ports. Control flow determines the order of your operator's execution. So let me just hide it. On link change, do not have input control flow port because it's the very first element of your flowchart. But then you need to specify what operators would be next. How we can do this? You simply link output control flow port with next input control flow port here. So now you know that after on-link change, we retrieve related entities. So by this white link, which actually called control flow, you can read your flow chart, what happens first, second, and so on. So we retrieved all opportunities related to our contact. And we can proceed to removing contact from these opportunities, but firstly, I think we need to add some conditions, some checking. For example, opportunity may be closed, and I think it is not a good idea to remove contact from already closed opportunities. So firstly, we need to check the status for our opportunities. So if the opportunity is open, we are going to remove contact. If not, we won't do nothing. And we need to perform these actions, checking status and removing contact, for every opportunity that we found. It won't be only one record, so it will be several opportunities, and we need to repeat some actions for each one. So it's a place where loop play its role. We need to build a loop. How we can do this? Logic Builder offers you a special element operator which call for each entity. So what does it have? Of course, it have input control flow port to know what happened before we retrieve all related opportunities. Then you need to define all set of entities with which you will work during your cycle. It is a set of our opportunities. It's simple, maybe some kind of rule that you need to link with each other the similar shaped ports. So square to square, and square means that you have a set of entities or records, and circle to circle, and circle means that you have only one, for example, entity or number here. As outputs for each entity has loop body, and loop body is it's actually, as I read from the name, it's a set of it's a control flow which will be repeated for each element in the set here. And when all elements will be processed, the control flow go to completed control flow to perform some other actions. Let's build our cycle to show how it works. And of course, entity is only one record from the set with which we are going to work. So the first thing that we need to do is to check the status of our opportunity. So what we need to get the field status and check the value in it. When we want to get field, there is an operator get entity attributes. We put it here, and now this list of fields is empty because this operator do not know from which entity you want get fields. So we specify that we want fields from opportunity. Here is only one, our opportunity from all set. And we are looking for field status. Here's our status. And we need to compare this value with value which we defined as open. We know that open opportunity, it is set opportunity in status new or in progress. These values, new and in progress, are constants. And Logic Builder allows you to work with constants. Just found constants in our toolbox section. Here there are several types of constants, and we know that cell status is a drop-down, so I simply choose drop-down and put it here. In the first line, I need to define the name of drop-down that I'm looking for. I know that my drop-down is called sales status term, and now here I have all values from this drop-down. First one value that I'm looking for, it is new. And now I need to compare value from sales from status field from opportunity with value new. When I talk about comparison, we have condition operator A equal B. So we simply compares value in status field with constant new. And the other one, open value for open opportunity, it is in progress. So again, I need to pick up a constant drop down. Again, I choose sales status drop down and choose in progress value. Again, I need to compare value in sales status field with in progress value. So I know that if opportunity is new or in progress, I mean that it is open opportunity. I said or, I put or. I choose it here to combine these two conditions. So let me zoom out using my scroll. We built a comparison of our value in status field with two constants. And how to put all this checking in control flow. When you need any condition, when you need to check something, always use branch operator, branch. It divides your control flow on two paths based on condition you put here, and two paths they are true and false. We can simply connect result field here in condition input port, but I think that we will need one more condition, because contact may take a part in opportunities that are not related to account from which it lives. So we need one more condition to check an account from our opportunity. For this, I need to, firstly, I need to get value from account ID field from our opportunity. Yep. And I need a value of account ID with which we are working. So again, I use get entity attributes. And now I need to specify an account entity here. So where I can get this account, let's look back through our flowchart. Account I have only here in object entity from very first operator. So I choose here object entity and input it here and choose ID from list of fields. And then I need to compare that ID in that account ID in our opportunity is the same as the account from which our contact left. And now I need to combine this set of conditions that status is open and account is from which our contact left. I said and, so I need to put this operator here and this is how we combine all our conditions, and I think it is completed condition. So let's just put it here. You may see that these operators do not have control flow ports, which means that these operators are out of control flow. But branch operator has this input port, and we need to define what happened before this branch. So we started from loop body, link here. So we start work with our set of opportunities here, and we check the status and account for our opportunity. And then if all these conditions are true, we need to unlink contact from opportunity. And for unlinking, there is an operator which calls unlink entities. Put it simple here. We need to unlink only if opportunity is open and our account is needed one, so it is true path. Then we need to specify which entities we want to unlink. Our object entity, it is opportunity, and opportunity we have here in head of our loop, and put it here. And subject entity, it is our contact, and contact we have on the very beginning of our flowchart, so we need to return to the beginning. here and get our contact and link it to this operator. And here in link name, you can see that there is automatically filled with a relationship between two modules. There is only one relationship, so we do not need to choose anything else. And actually about unlinking, that is all. So let's do a quick retrospective. We define that when contact leaves account, we retrieve opportunities, all related opportunities, and then we start to work with each opportunity separately. But we repeat the same actions for each opportunity. Firstly, we check the status. Then we check that this opportunity is related to the needed account. And if these conditions are met, we unlink entities from each other. Then in our requirements, we have option to create task for manager to review a list of contacts for opportunity. So let's proceed to this. When we want to create some entity, we are looking for element for operator with such name, like create. What we have, create entity that we are looking for. Put it here. Define what happened before. It's unlinking entities, and then we need to define which what we are going to create. It is task. Then we want to put some values in the fields of this task. When you want to fill fields, you can use set entity attributes operator. So we link it with previous one. We define for which entity we are going to fill in values. And now we want to start pick up fields from tasks. The first one, I think, is subject, and we want to put some text in this subject. And for this, I need to return to constants. Let me just scroll. Here are our constants. And when we are talking about some text, we use string constant. So here we want to put some text. For example, review contacts list, and put this value into the subject field. Then I want to set value in the description field. And for the description, I want one line of text combining from several constants. For example, I want to use this review contacts list. Then I want to use text due to, and then I want to use to show to manager contact's name. So I need to get the value of contact's name. For this, we again will use get entity attributes operator. Put the contact here where we have the contact. I think here is in subject entity, and pick up the name here. And for example, it's review contact list due to Susanna, and I want text left the company. Left the company. And when I want to combine several strings in one line, I use operator concatenate strings. So I simply put it here and combine all my strings into one message. So, and the result I put into description field. Also, tasks have due date. So when we want to work with dates, there are also several operators. Here there are in date section, and let's choose due date as current date and plus, for example, current date. Let's give 3 days to our managers and put it in due date. Obviously, tasks should have assigned users. So we choose assigned user ID, and this user should be the same as assigned to our opportunity. So again, we need to use get entity attributes in order to get assigned user from our opportunity. So we put get entity attributes. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Where is our opportunity? It is here in our unlinking operators, and choose here assigned user ID and put it in assigned user ID to task. The task should be related to context and to opportunity, I believe. So let me show you how we can establish relationship between records in several ways. For example, we know that in task there is a relation to context by contact ID field. So I can put in this field simply value of our contact ID. Here all attributes from contact. So I choose ID here and put it to the task. And now I want to save my record, because the idea is similar as you work in Sugar. When you're changing some fields, you need to save your record. And here is the same. So we created task, we related it to contact, and now we want to relate it to the opportunity. The same as we done for unlink by one operator, the similar idea is for link, just one operator, link entities. You define the previous one, and then again define object and subject entity. Object is our opportunity, so let's go back a little bit, and here's our opportunity, and put it here in object entity. And subject entity, it is our task, so put it here, and link name field already. So now we establish a relation between opportunity and task. So basically our flow is ready. Let's go through it a little bit. So when when contact removed from account, we retrieve all opportunities related to our contact, and then we start to loop a cycle to work with each opportunity. For example, we have 3 opportunities here. We get the first one, opportunity 1, for example. We check if this opportunity is open and related to needed account. If yes, so these conditions are true, we proceed to unlink a contact from opportunity. And after this, we create a task for our manager to review contacts list. So when your flow comes here to link entities, there is nothing to do then. So your flow automatically returns to the start of the cycle here for each entity. We have one more opportunity here, opportunity 2. For example, it is closed opportunity. So these conditions are failed, and our flow go to the false control flow, and we do not have anything here. So your flow will automatically return again on the start of the cycle. And if you run out from all records, so there aren't any opportunities, your flow go to the completed flow where we haven't nothing for now. And one more thing that I didn't say to you is break control flow port. It serves to stop the cycle. So for example, if you need to find only first open opportunity, you may guide your control flow, for example, from true to break, and your cycle will stop and go to the completed section. One more thing about loops. You may see that in loop I use some data outside from this loop in main control flow. For example, this link, I choose account and put it in the cycle. I can do this, but you can't do this in other way. So you can't use something outside from cycle outside of this cycle. So you can't, for example, pick up link here and put it somewhere in completed control flow. But what to do if you need to do this? I show you. You can do this by using some kind of temporary storage, where you can put anything you need and then use it outside of our cycles. This temporary storage is left during the process of logic working. So when your logic is completed, the storage some kind of die. Let's think what we can use. For example, we want to create a node for our contact that this contact was removed from opportunities automatically, and we want to see the list of the opportunities. So in cycle, we need to collect all names of our opportunities from which this contact was removed. So let's do this. Firstly, we need to define our temporary storage. This temporary storage is called variables. They are located in the bottom of our list of operators. And there are two options, get and set. Set setting value in your storage and variable, get retrieve value from this temporary storage. So let's move a little bit these operators to add here this operator, set variable. So put it in control flow and give it a name. The name as you want, like for example, let's be something like this, and put a value to this variable. Let it be empty. Oh, I mean that before the start, this variable should be empty. And in cycle, in the end, when we perform all necessary actions, we want to set for our variable a value. So this is the same variable, opportunity name. And what we want to set, it is name of our opportunity. Here, I suppose we have opportunity. Yes, opportunity. And for example, let's choose an amount for opportunity. Amount. So we can simply put these values into our variable, but as an actions in cycle repeated every time, if we simply put these values into variable, these values will be overwritten every time. But we want to collect our data. So firstly, we need to get the previous value or the current value from variable. So we choose get variable, put here this name of variable, and using our concatenate strings, we combine a value for our variable. I define a space here. Also, I want all my opportunities to start from a new line. So for strings, there are also operator new line. So I put it here. Then I want to have an opportunity name, space, and amount of opportunities. Opportunity, and put result in variable. So for example, when you go to the cycle for the first time, it's our first opportunity, for example, big machines. We check that it is open opportunity, and linking, creating task, and here we set the value big machines and for example $1 million to our opportunity name variable. Then our cycle returned to the next one element in our set of elements, set of opportunities. For example, it's small computer. So again, we check everything is all right. We are linking, we creating tasks, and here we get a current value from variable. It is big machines, $1 million, and add a new value. It's our current second one opportunity with small computers. So we'll have two names, two strings in this variable, and so on until we are run out from all elements in our cycle. And now we can proceed to completed part of our flow chart. So when we unlinking, creating everything we need, we want to create a node to our contact while we created this variable. So again, as I've done for task, we use create entity when we want to create something. It is our completed flow. So when this cycle is done, all elements run out, we go to the completed flow. And here we choose, let me zoom in a bit so you see better. We choose what we want to create. It is nodes. And then we want to set attributes for this node. So we define that we want to set subject. Subject will be the string, simple text, and let it be auto remove from opportunities. And in the description, I want to see all opportunities from which this contact was removed. So I need to get value from our variable where we stored all this set of opportunities. Let me just copy paste the name, not to do any mistakes. So I return to my complete flow, and in get variable put the name. And this value of this variable I want to see in description. Then node have assigned user, and let pick assigned user from contact. Let's return where we have contact. The closest one is this element and this operator, and put contact here. And from all contact fields we need assigned user ID and put it here. After this, we want to save, obviously, our new record. Save entity. And I want to relate this node to my contact. For this, I have a simple operator, link entities. And my object entity will be contact. So here is my contact. I put it here. And my subject, it is node. And here there are two relationships between two these models. Let's choose nodes. So one more thing about flowcharts. You may see that I use, for example, value from assigned user field from contact, and I pick up contact entity from the very beginning of the flowchart. I can do this because I know that I didn't perform any changes to my assigned user in my cycle during this cycle. So I know that in the moment of start of performing my logic, and in this moment assigned user is the same, and I can link it from the start. But if I change assigned user here in cycle, after this in completed flow, I need to retrieve entity again, because after changing value here in cycle, it is not the same as it was in the beginning. Actually, that is all about our flow chart. So we done our logic that we want. I mean that we say that after contact remove from account, retrieve all related to our contact opportunities. Then this is some kind of technical. We create temporary storage to outline for manager the obvious description for node. And then for each opportunity we check whether it's open, and if and if it's related to needed account, and if yes, we simply unlink contact from opportunity and create task. And when we done these steps for all opportunities, we go to create a node for our contact. Actually, that is all. Logic is done, visual design is done. And now I want to save my logic for future changes, for example. For this, I go to flowchart section, and in save flowchart, I need to specify the name of our design. It's by default it's custom logic, but better to give some name which guide you, which brings you the idea what this logic is actually do. So let's choose something like keep opportunity up to date. It's not the good name, but let it be. And click save. So this flowchart, this visual design is saved for future changing. But now I need to deliver this logic to my sugar instance. Obviously, the sugar do not understand this visual design, so I need to generate a sugar package to transform this visual design into PHP code, which I can upload into sugar. So how can I do this? In flowchart again section, there is generate sugar package option. I simply click generate, and I have in my computer a sugar package which I can deploy in my sugar. This is demo. This is sugar in demo environment. So I navigate to admin section and deploy my module as any other module. I choose file and upload it here. And here's my name. That's why it's important to give the normal name for flowcharts, and click on install and commit. So this is the way how I can deliver my logic that I configured in Logic Builder into Sugar. And I want to say that these packages are upgrade safe, so you may be sure to install it on your instance. So let's wait for a little bit when this package is deployed to our instance, and then we try to check our logic, how it works on practice. So, Sugar, what are you doing? Let's wait for a while. Okay, finally. So our package deployed. Let me just, here is my package. And here's the package from my last webcast, by the way. So go to the accounts, and I choose not random one. I prepared here some data. So this account, there are 4 opportunities. 2 are open and 2 are closed. And I linked the contact Brenda to these opportunities. Here she is for all these opportunities. So let's just proceed to unlinking. In account, we push on unlink, and we will wait for a while. So now this contact should be removed from all open opportunities, but remains in the closed opportunities. Also for open opportunities, there should be task and also the node for our contact. So let's refresh our page. So as you will see, there is Brenda here, but after refreshing our page, we see that there is no Brenda anymore, and there is a task to review contact list for manager who assigned to opportunity. And here is our description that we concatenate from several strings. And here's the name of our contact. And let me show you that this is closed opportunity, and here also is Brenda. And if we refresh page, Brenda will remain in this opportunity. to save history data. And finally, to show you why we use all these variables, there is node, or there aren't. Yeah, there is. Here is our node that we created in Logic Builder, and as you may see, here are the names of our opportunities and amount from which this contact was removed. So, in case if you need to bring some changes into your logic, for example, if something need to be changed, you go to the Logic Builder and load previously saved flowchart. In load flowchart section, you have all your logics that you saved before. You choose it, click load, it loads obviously on your screen. You perform some changes that you need, and then again generate save logic, generate sugar package. But the main difference here is that you should uninstall the previous one installed logic from module loader. So you go to module loader, find out your previous installed package. For example, it's this one. Click on install and then deploy a new one. So actually that is all that I want to show you. Let me just check if there are any questions and open final presentation slide. Here it is. Okay, there are no any questions. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please contact us in any convenient for you way. And have a nice day. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.